I think we're here. I think here we are. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine news from our city, from our state, from our country, news from you, news from people around us, people that we care about, that tell us all kinds of tips and tidbits about what's going on in Puerto Vallarta. And we combine all this information so that we can all put it together with one specific goal: to have a better, more connected life in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Today is Wednesday, October 6th, and it is a pleasure to get together with you as every morning. If this is the first time that you're watching, let us know. That way we can give you a proper welcome. You can let us know by writing the word new in your comments, and that way we will say welcome. And also, of course, if you have something important to discuss or something you wish to bring up, it helps a great deal if you add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment. That way we will make sure that we do not miss it. We have very interesting and important news to share today, so we are going to get started with our news as always, then head on to the weather, and then we'll have some time to read all these wonderful comments that I'm seeing that are coming in right as we're going, including the fact that Heather took a vacation. Good for you, Heather. I'm so glad that you are distancing yourself from the city, and everybody should take a vacation from time to time to the extent that we can. So there we go. We're going to get started with our news, and we'll take it from there. Okay, news. Interesting. The news are taking a little bit longer to show up. Interesting, but that's okay. Let us start with this one. Before the past administration ended, former Puerto Vallarta mayor, or rather former interim Puerto Vallarta mayor Jorge Quintero Alvarado, publicly stated that his administration was wrapping up, leaving Puerto Vallarta with healthy finances, assuring that the municipal accounts had resources for the new administration, which is now the current one. It has been since the beginning of this month. But now Mayor Michel, our new mayor, Luis Michel, has come forth to indicate that this is not true. And I quote, "The treasurer has informed me that we don't even have enough money to meet payroll needs on the 15th of the month. So this is what we're starting with," he said. Is this common? Well, apparently it is. Who do we believe? Do we believe the outgoing administration, or do we believe the new guy? I don't know, but it is quite something to learn that your city's administration apparently doesn't even have money to meet the payroll in less than 2 weeks. But of course, the show must go on, and we've been paying a lot of attention this week as to what the new administration is up to, and more importantly, how are they using their resources to communicate their accomplishment to people like you and I, you and me, people like us, and to other news outlets. For example, we knew that the city began this week giving our main avenue, Francisco Medina Asensio, a nice and well-deserved cleanup, or a shineada, as we say in Spanish, and this has been reported by several news outlets indeed. We have also been spending some time looking at the government of Puerto Vallarta's Facebook page, which is in Spanish, of course, to see what the administration is up to and how they are reporting it. For example, here is this lovely post that was published yesterday. So what are we doing? We're looking at this with detail. The post says, the rain season is about to wrap up, and this is why our new mayor, Profe Michel, Profe is short for professor or teacher. That's the way he likes to be known, because he is a teacher. So he likes to be known as Teacher Michel or Profe Michel. He instructed the workers of Public Works with the task of cleaning up and fixing all the potholes in our streets. And then the post goes down to give you an outline of where they went And I quickly noticed that the quality of the photographs is different. So they either went out and got a new camera for the current photographer, or they are working with a completely different team altogether. But we are, of course, interested in the quality of work they are using to, the quality of equipment they're using to capture the news and the information. But then I stumbled into this one. This is a post in English in the official Puerto Vallarta government Facebook page. That is right. The post had to do with the news that we shared a couple of days ago with sex workers in Colonia Cinco de Diciembre. But I thought, well, the new administration is reporting in English and posting videos that are subtitled in English. And this particular post was posted but in both English and Spanish. So I thought, oh my goodness, is the new administration actually going to report the news into languages? And of course, Vallarta Independiente was quick to notice this, and they posted this headline. They turned this little fact into a news item. Luis Michel's government innovates communicating in English. Now, can we expect the new administration to continue producing press releases in both Spanish and English? Hopefully so, because it's nice to see that the new administration is acknowledging the large number of English speaking residents in our city. However, only time will tell if they are actually going to keep this up moving forward. Moving right along, with school having resumed in our state, there has been ongoing concern as to whether the decision to expose our children to one another and to increase the odds of COVID-19 spreading among the school population is very real. But Jalisco Governor Enrique Alfaro gave us some good news a couple of days ago, indicating that the number of COVID-19 cases in the states that are associated with schools or that have been traced, cases in, let me start again. Alfaro told us that the cases associated with schools or that have been traced back to schools is the number of cases is decreasing. For example, there are only 368 active cases in the state of COVID involving minors 3 to 14 years of age. And of those, only 72, excuse me just one sec. Oh, mid-sentence, that was horrible. Let me start again. There are only 368 active cases in the state among minors 3 to 14 years of age. And of those, only 72 were traced back to schools. And the vast majority of these cases, 77%, are happening in the Guadalajara metropolitan area. At present time, though, it is estimated that 86% of the total student population of the state has opted to return to school, although, unfortunately, there are still a few schools that remain unfit to welcome students after more than a year of being closed to the public. And if we look at this graph, of course, the numbers are really small. We can see the numbers broken down for the state. And for example, here we see that in our region, which is over here, there are only 9 student cases or COVID cases among school students in our whole sanitary region. So this is a good thing. It's a good thing that for those people that have been concerned about whether it is wise or unwise to let our students or our children go back to school, the strategy has proven successful for the most part. So you have to wonder, if that is the case, why I am sharing this coming headline, because this has been around for some time, but it's weird. It's buzzing now. There is an initiative to reform the Jalisco Health Law that, if approved, will make it unlawful to be out and about in any public space without wearing a face mask if you are 2 years of age or older. The initiative, as I mentioned a second ago, is not new. It was proposed back in February, but somehow it seems to be buzzing a lot with local news outlets this week. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the new administrations. And the aspect that is buzzing the most is the fact that if we do not wear a face mask in public, if we are actually breaking the law, and we could be sent to jail for 36 hours. Why is this buzzing now? That is a very good question. Mexico President Andres Manuel López Obrador has been widely criticized for stating in numerous occasions that making face mask use obligatory is a repressive and authoritative measure. The flip side of this is that our president has also maintained an attitude of respect when it comes to individual states of the republic making their own decisions on this and other matters. But just imagine tourists walking around the Malecon without their face masks in Puerto Vallarta all of a sudden being sent to jail because they did not comply with the law. I'm sure that is going to fly very, very well in the mindsets of our local governors. But what do I know? I only wish that people were more able to follow the freaking guidelines. But that's neither here nor there. Let us switch over to the weather forecast just to see what we can expect for the remainder of the week. Oh dear, Kim Jong-un is one of my biggest fans, says our carrot weather, and this catches me by surprise because I have no idea who this person is. What can I tell you? Oh, I know what I can tell you. I can tell you that we are enjoying 28 degrees of temperature right now. Feels like 33. Humidity is at 81%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 83. Our weather forecast for today calls for a humid and partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 33, low temperature of 25. Tomorrow, it'll be humid and partly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 33, low temperature of 24. And on Friday, we can expect a humid and partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 33 and a low temperature of 25. Not bad. I'd like to think that it's getting cooler ever so slightly, or maybe this is just my mind wanting to make sure that we get to the cooler weather as quickly as possible. I've had enough of this heat. Let me see. What else do we have? 3 more items. The first one is clearly an FYI. CEAPAL has volunteered information about work they're going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to be working in Colonias Agua Azul and Lopez Mateos between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you may experience water shortage in these two colonias. Thank you very much for that, Matthew. I just read you at a glance. Kim Jong-un is the dictator of North Korea. Good to know. Good buds with Trump. Okay. Fair enough. That's what I needed to know. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, yes. If you're losing sleep over the brands of instant soup that you will not be able to buy in Mexican supermarkets anymore, this lovely article shows the brands. So if you've been fans of any of these brands of instant soup, I hate to break your heart, but you won't be able to buy these anymore because our consumer attorney's office has determined that these are deceitful in the way they advertise their nutritional value. But good thing is there are tacos, and that's a different story. And of course, the last item that I want to share with you is slightly selfish, but it is free. So we might as well take advantage of this. Carnegie Hall is beginning its 2021-22 season today with a lovely gala that we can all enjoy from home at 6 p.m. tonight, featuring the Philadelphia Orchestra with conductor Yannick. Oh dear, I've never said his last name before, and I'm sure I'm going to mess it up. Conductor Yannick Nezet Seguin. I'm sure that's not his last name, but he's going to be conducting. And Yuja Wang is going to be the soloist at the piano. The program consists of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, Concerto for Piano and Orchestra Number 2 by Shostakovich, and the Candide Overture by Leonard Bernstein. So this is going to be available for us to watch free online. I will leave you with the website for Carnegie Hall in the show notes as usual, so we can all have this lovely event at our disposal this afternoon. How wonderful is that? And now let me take a quick look at your comments just to see what everybody is up to today. Dee da dee da da. Lots of good mornings as always. Javier changed his photograph. Hello, Javier. You're looking good on that one. It's great to see you. Great to see you, Angelo from Amapas. Pat had a lot of coffee this morning because he's going, good morning. I love it. Kathleen is counting 2 months and I'm back. I love it. Do, 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 do. 5 de diciembre is in the house. East Tennessee is in the house. Mary is visiting us on Sunday. Good for you. Robert, a loyal listener, is back in Puerto Vallarta. Thank you very much, Robert, for following Coffee and Headlines. It's great that you're here, and we appreciate the fact that you keep us company. Let's see. Sharing news in both Spanish and English is a good sign, says Kimberly. I totally agree with you, Kimberly. I can only hope that they will keep it up. Because, you know, when new jobs start, we all get in there with all kinds of boundless enthusiasm, but it becomes challenging to keep some of these things up. But it's glad to see that from the get-go, the government has decided to do this. Now, they've made one post in English, so we'll keep track of this. And well, I'm not going to say we're going to hold them accountable because they don't report to us or they don't respond to us, but we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see how that works. Let's see. Kimberly drops one. Just wrong, in my opinion, especially for children. They are innocent in all this and should not be forced to compromise their health and freedom by wearing a mask. Go ahead and snark if one must, but that's my opinion. Noted. Again, I know this whole business of the face masks is complicated. But what is not complicated is the guidelines, you know? I mean, you can, and again, I'm not going to agree or disagree with you, Kimberly, but you know, it's not like the sanitary authorities or the health authorities are asking us to do the impossible. You know, wearing a face mask is not that difficult. Let's see what else. There's a question here. Wonder if jail tourists will be eligible for a refund from their resort or Airbnb. That is so funny. Well, I'll tell you something. Marie, I'm not at liberty to say the source, to tell the source of this anecdote that I'm going to share with you. But a very dear friend of mine that manages a villa told me that he received this question from a tourist saying, I have read that other resorts, other hotels, other villas are offering attractive discounts for guests that happen to catch COVID during their vacation and are forced to remain in quarantine for 15 days or 14 days or whatever the time you're supposed to. What kind of attractive discounts are you offering? And my friend shared this information with me and I just laughed because I thought, okay, so this potential guest is asking you what discount you're going to give him if he does something stupid, like not follow the guidelines. And we both laughed. So Marie, going back to your question, you are wondering if stupid tourists will be eligible for a refund from their resort or Airbnb. Well, I have to wonder if anybody in the world or under any circumstance gets a discount for being stupid. So I don't know the answer to your question. Uh, let's see. Come to San Miguel de Allende. We are nice and cool. Put the extra blankets on the bed. You know, I started crocheting, Christine. I started crocheting a blankie because I know that I'm never going to use it. But I figured, if I start making a blankie, maybe it'll get cooler. Or maybe I'll use it for those occasional trips to the mountains or wherever. Uh, oh, okay. Well, this, I don't understand how this is important, but it has a Q. Do you have snow? I do here in Dawson Creek, counting the days until we arrive. Have a good day, Paco. Thank you very much, Linda. It's good to know, and it's very important to know that here in Dawson Creek, there is snow. Thank you very much for sharing that. Um, Now, let's see. Here's a question without a Q, but we'll take it. PV question: where is a good place near ZR? ZR. Okay, so you are not a local because you're referring to Emiliano Zapata as Sonar Romantica. Where is a good place near Zona Romantica to buy a Bluetooth speaker and luggage? Need a second suitcase to carry back with my local purchases. Robert Joseph Cross. You won't find a place in Zona Romantica to buy a decent luggage. You need to get out of Zona Romantica. You need to go to Walmart. You need to go to the shopping centers to find those kinds of things. And there's nothing like that in Zona Romantica. There are some stores that sell audio trinkets here and there, and you can get a cheapo Bluetooth speaker. But no, in order to be able to get any of these things, you're going to have to leave ZR. ZR. I love it. Dear acronyms. Let's see what else we have. Oh, that's not you, Javier. Is that the main character of the Squid Game? That's a new series? Everybody's watching the Squid series. I'm not watching that. Um, Mago. Yes, everyone should follow the rules. And sorry, but tourists should always be informed ahead of time of rules, guidelines, or regulations for any place visiting or upon arrival. Either way, masks are available everywhere, so there's no excuse. I agree with you. Let's see. I'm not even going to answer that question because it has nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta. That doesn't have a Q. Okay, so it must not be important. Robert says, thanks. Thanks. And another question: is there a good place for beginning Spanish in person lessons? Yes, there are several schools that teach Spanish. I am sure that if you Google this, you will be able to find them. Or if you go to Facebook, you will find places. There are a couple of places in town. The names don't come to mind, unfortunately. Uh, let's see. Just from looking at your comments, I can tell that the issue of face masks versus no face masks uh, is still very real among all of us. And I'm not saying that that is good or bad. I'm just saying that it is. And Marie, whether the comment was made tongue in cheek or not, I think it's a hilarious assertion. We would not hold it against you if your question was legitimate. But yeah, that's the bottom line, And there, oh my God, then there was a story that I don't think I shared this, or maybe I did and I've forgotten. But again, because I'm not at liberty to share information that is not mine, there was this one guest at this guest house that I described earlier that tested positive, and my friend, the house manager, made sure that this guest was taken care of. He checked him out. He put him in an apartment uh, where he was to remain quarantined for 15 days or 14 days or whatever the amount of time you're supposed to be quarantined. And a few hours later, the guy had hopped in a plane and left the country. So that means that this guy obtained some kind of illegitimate certificate to get on a plane and spread the disease because he felt, well, I don't have any symptoms, so I must be fine. So yeah, these things happen, and that's all I'm gonna say. Um, don't be sorry, Robert. This whole business of Sonar Romantica is not your fault. It is unfortunate that these names get perpetrated. Um, it is unfortunate that people type acronyms assuming that the entire world will know that what they mean. And I'm not innocent of that. I'll do it from time to time, but for the most part, we try to avoid acronyms just to make sure that the information is as easy to read as possible for everybody. Um, yeah, Plaza Caracol is a good place to find all the items that you're looking for. But of course, Plaza Caracol is not in Emiliano Zapata. Uh, da-da-da-da. Oh, there you go. Jeannie Gorgichuk has a suitcase to sell, and I think she's in Emiliano Zapata. So, so there you have it. You may find a suitcase here at Coffee and Headlines. And let's see. I think we're done. I think we're done. This was an interesting show. At least it was interesting to me. Um, I can tell that there's still some unsettling issues going on as far as COVID-19, but our stance remains the same. You know, we cannot control people that are out there on their own. We can control our actions, we can control how we care for ourselves, how we care for our loved ones, and as always, we continue to be of the mindset that if you find yourself confronted by a situation where you don't feel comfortable, whether it's a bar or a nightclub or a restaurant or the movies or a bus or whatever, or a crowd walking towards you, um, just turn around and walk in a different direction. You know, it's easy. It's easy. Um, Is it Walking Wednesday? It is Wednesday, but we didn't walk today. Sorry, we didn't get a chance to prepare a walk for today. But so Paula, you didn't miss a thing. Uh, let's see. Oh, this doesn't have a Q, but I'm going to bite. Isn't the original name of Puerto Vallarta just Vallarta, coined by public relations? Where did you read that, Angelo? The name of our city is Puerto Vallarta. And I know that a lot of people call it Vallarta. I personally don't like to call it Vallarta because the name of the city is Puerto Vallarta. So I don't know which public relations you're talking about. Again, we appreciate when the source of your comments is shared, so we understand if you read this in a paper or if you heard it at Starbucks or wherever. Da 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 da. Okay, I think we are done. I see a lot of chit chat, but I don't see any cues. So we're done. Yay. Thank you very much for joining us on this hump day. We will be back tomorrow, Thursday, with more information that hopefully you will appreciate. If you appreciate our content, you know what to do, you know where to go, and we appreciate all of those of you who have chosen to support Coffee and Headlines with either a membership or the occasional coffee. It goes a long way for us to be able to continue doing what we do and what you seem to love, because there's all of you here. Yay. So that's it. I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Stay in touch. And I'll see you again sometime in the near future.